under 10 minutes. I just have about 2 small pages of notes in this little book here, and I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what a blogger and a blogger's so called friend on YouTube tried to do to me this week by contacting the prawn farm in the ICM mall and making a verbal complaint over telephone. So normally I do my show on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whatever's convenient for me. And I had a dentist appointment on Friday, so I went there Friday. So I got there about 9 o'clock, and within a few minutes, a very nice woman sat down across the table from me, and she introduced herself and said, first of all, Michael, she knew my name, we would like to thank you for making such wonderful videos of our restaurant and promoting our restaurant, because that's what restaurateurs do. They thrive on that kind of stuff. And the bottom line is, apparently, someone made a phone call. We know that on Barry's show there was a man named Mike Ross who made a comment that I was going to get thrown out of the prawn farm, and I said I doubt that. And that was probably Tuesday or Wednesday. But there were other comments made by another so-called famous YouTuber saying that I have a surprise coming for me when I go back to the prawn farm. Well, the surprise was to sit down with an executive from the prawn farm for about 45 minutes, at which point it was a woman. She asked me why this person made a complaint, and I asked her, where is the person? Was the complaint in person, or was the complaint in an email or over the phone? And she said it was over the phone. I said, so you have no way to trace who this person is, right? She said no. And I said, well, I could, theoretically, I could make a complaint about anything there's no proof to the complaint. But you have proof that there is no harassment between myself and the guests in your restaurant by just asking your wait staff if there's ever been a ruckus in the restaurant. And apparently that had already happened. And what had already happened as well is that the prawn farm, apparently they reviewed some of my videos, and they didn't find anything wrong with the videos. They know I'm live streaming and promoting their restaurant. So she asked me why the person would make a complaint. And I said, this is YouTube. That's what people do on YouTube. So what I did was I opened up a DQ. I opened up the DQ page where he has strictly hate videos by one particular blogger, and we randomly picked a video, and it happened to be a good one. However, I explained that I had a case, an NBI case against someone, and apparently they were upset about that because it cost them some money, and they've never forgotten that, and they swore revenge, which is their prerogative to believe whatever they want to believe. But either way, I don't know that person called up, but somebody called up on his behalf, because he called. He doesn't like to do stuff himself. He likes to call, like he called on Richie and the Slob to go after me, because he knows he can't do it. I mean, he can verbally attack me, but he knows he's not coming to my house. And that's what he called Richie and the Slob. Go stand in front of his house. Go ahead, take him up on his offer. They're not coming. They're not coming. And I don't worry about it. What's there to worry about? So after we spoke for about 15 minutes and I showed her a few videos and explained some of the things to her, I said, well, how how can you take a complaint serious if it's over the phone? Do you have the number? Well, there was no real response to whether or not they had the number. Apparently, if they did have it, they're not going to give it to me. However, that led me to a definitive moment in history. So what I did when I didn't get home till late last night. The dentist, there's this thing right here. This thing cost me 2 hours of my time. This little bottle here, 2 hours. It's one part. This is just the way it is in the Philippines. It's not the dentist's fault. Whoever put the cap back on this bottle, it's a 2-part epoxy. This is the liquid part. It evaporated. So when they were getting ready to fill my tooth for the final first half of the root canal, they had no epoxy. So he said, I have to go to my office, my other office, to get that. I said, okay. And I don't know how long he was gone. The secretary, she's a sweetheart. She says, Michael, just go to sleep. You don't have to tell me twice. I got up at 4:30 yesterday morning. And I think I slept until he came back, which was about 2 hours, hour and a half. And it doesn't matter. So anyway, I got a nice nap in the afternoon, but I didn't get home till like 8 o'clock at night. And when I got home, I put some notes together, and here's what I'm going to do. I already mentioned that I sent some stuff to the FBI, and I did. But now I'm going to add 3 videos to the FBI complaint. And I do have a right to make note that there's a person that the FBI should be aware of because of death threats. Not to me, but to the great Barry Jordan. And it will show it will show the mindset of a person that would go far enough to show an actual carpet knife and his rings on his fingers, which will prove it's this particular blogger, his 2 gold rings, and his voice, that he is in fact actually making death threats against another person. Because if you go so far, let me show you the video first of all. Let me show you, and I'll give you the minute mark. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the title, but I'm going to show you the screenshot of this. We're going to cut out the link so you can't see any definitive channel that it's on. And we're going to turn this on. So there's a blogger out there that showed 2 macadamia nuts and then described these nuts as Barry Jordan's nuts. Of course, they're not Barry Jordan's nuts, but he described them as such. And then, but just prior to that, I want to get back to back about 10 seconds. Just prior to that, he showed at the 8-minute and 45-second mark in this video, he showed a carpet knife. This is a razor knife to cut carpet. And he talked about cutting out Barry Jordan's tongue and using this knife to cut off Barry Jordan's family jewels. Okay? You're just not allowed to say stuff like that on YouTube. It's just not allowed. I wouldn't be surprised that the reason both of his channels disappeared last night was because of this video itself, showing a weapon and then threatening another blogger's life. Because where would it stop if he cut out Barry Jordan's tongue and cut off his nuts? Would it stop there? Absolutely not. It's a death threat, plain and simple. And this was reported. as a death threat to YouTube against his channel. So he lost 2 channels last night, and I would believe it's because of this video. You don't need 3 strikes when you start putting up weapons and threaten another blogger's life. You don't need 3 strikes. YouTube can take your channel off for no reason whatsoever. Strikes you as a bit of a jerk. Now there is a play on words. Hey Steve, thanks for stopping by. So that video, the name of the video is, and I won't mention the man's name. So-and-so threatens to cut off Barry's nuts and break his bones. There were other threats in the video. That video is going to the FBI. Mr. Madman. Another video that's going to the FBI is a video that's been posted twice today. I think if I'm right, DQ Labs posted it. Hold on a minute. Or DQ, I have to check on that. My Philippines Interest, DQ, posted a video called You Can't Fix Stupid. And it was also posted on another channel. That video, where this blogger calls another man's wife all kinds of derogatory stuff. I mean, there's no proof. See, there's no proof of this. You know, there's no proof that... And then accused the man of possibly harming his own child. Come on, this is beyond the pale. And this is what this blogger that's being reported to the FBI, this is what he says can't be done. You have to have proof. And yet he has no proof that Dave Phelps is going to harm Dave Phelps' own personal daughter. He has no proof that Dave Phelps' wife was underage when he met Dave. He has no proof of that. If he does, he never showed it. I never saw it. It doesn't matter. The things he said about Dave Phelps' wife can't be proven. And this is where he keeps talking about not being able to prove stuff. You shouldn't say it. Well, he will rebuttal this, that his face isn't in the video. It's not him talking those words. That's not going to fly with the FBI. And so that's the second video. The Dave Phelps' wife is an underage bar girl / this / that. Every derogatory name that you could possibly imagine. And the third video is me being talked about. And of course, the video that is known as the Mushroom Man video, where he was talking to a child about my personal genitalia. I have every right to not only talk to that person's parents, because it's me he's talking about in the video, to the child. I have every right to talk to anybody I want. I have every right to request information about anything that was ever said about me on the internet. It's not third-party hearsay. It's about me, where most of the videos, they use my name. Or what is proven to be Yellow Man, that's me. What else does he call me? The whole Walrus. I mean, he has a bunch of names for me. But in one video, he rattled off 3 names. And he goes, the Mushroom Man is hoodwinked. The Mushroom Man is the Yellow Man. And the Mushroom Man was another name that I forgot that he used for me. I have it written down. But anyway, that video is going to the FBI to show that I don't believe the man is stable. I don't believe anybody on YouTube. Nobody has come to his defense. Nobody has ever come to his defense. Whereas he was talking to an 8-year-old child about my genitalia. Tumor man, right, tumor man. And I don't have a tumor on my head, by the way, but that's what he wants to call me. So Nobody has ever come to his. Nobody ever said, "Oh, it's just a video." Only he says it's just a video about a cartoon of a mushroom. Dude, where you come up with this stuff? Let's let the FBI decide on that. Okay, let's let the FBI. And of course, I will send the FBI a case number for the case that went against you and was adjudicated without prejudice, was closed without prejudice, which means I can open it up anytime I want and start filing again, and I will. Now, you think that it's okay to threaten people's lives, but you cry if someone says anything about your personal well-being. You cry like a little girl. And you're allowed to cry. I mean, you're a little girl. Why little girls cry? But you cry foul whenever anybody mentions your name and any kind of death threat. Now, although you showed a razor knife and talked about cutting off a man's nuts and his tongue out, you called that, if I remember correctly, you called that, maybe I was a little over the line, you said. Now, that's not over the line, dude. That's a psychological imbalance that you don't know that you're not supposed to put things like that on the internet. That's not over the line, dude. That's an outright death threat. You're not going to stop after you cut his nuts off, after you cut his tongue out. You're going to end up terminating the guy, like your channel got terminated. Both of your channels got terminated yesterday. Do you not see that what you put up, your visceral that you put up on YouTube, is getting you in trouble? But now, and I also have a few other videos in mind to send with the FBI, but they're not going to want. And prior to sending this package, I'll call it the package, prior to sending this package to the FBI, I am actually going to get a field agent in Hawaii and talk to a person in person on the phone. I'm going to give them all my pertinent information, and then I'm going to explain to them how this all started with you talking to an 8-year-old boy about my genitalia. And I'm going to give them a quick synopsis. And then I'll write out a little bit of a storyline, and I'll be able to prove it's true, because little do you know that this has been documented. You'll say, no, that's a lie. It hasn't been documented. Yes, it was documented. I could give you the times. I could give you the dates. This incident was documented. So I have every right to be involved. And I am now going to go after you proactively, because you won't stop until you are stopped. You went out of your way to try to destroy my ability to blog at the prawn farm. And if that would have happened, it wouldn't make a difference to me. It doesn't change my life. What would happen, thank you, hello, final approach. What would happen if I got blocked from the prawn farm is that instead of making a video every week for their establishment, I wouldn't. How many people would not see a great advertisement for the prawn farm if I stopped making videos? And that's what people that own restaurants want. They want free advertisement. So if you stopped me from, hello, Flying Circus, if you stopped me from blogging at the prawn farm, I would just stop blogging. Damn, it's not like I have to blog the prawn farm. I'll find someplace else to blog. It's not like I get any special views or anything for it. I just happen to enjoy their food. It's carnivore-friendly diet. It's carnivore diet friendly, and I enjoy going there. I have a nice rapport with the waiters and waitresses, and you can see that. There is nobody there that has any kind of angst towards me. Everybody greets me when I get there early in the morning, and we all laugh and joke and in a jovial way, and not so much on camera because they're working. But off camera, it's just like one big happy group of waiters and waitresses that we all have our little things that we do when they go by and say hello. It's like, you go someplace for 5 or 6 weeks, you become friendly with the people, and they're very friendly people. So, yeah, he does. He does. He does. There is no, there's no need to connect him to the Mushroom Man video. He's connected to the Mushroom Man video via police reports. Via police reports and via Children's Protective Services reports on that day. On that day. There's a connection. You don't think so, but I'm telling you there is. Now, you can't prove it, or you can't disprove it. I'm telling you, there's an actual police report. At the time you were talking about my genitalia, there was a police report being made on you at that moment while the video was live. So this is already documented, and the FBI is welcome. I'll give the FBI the officer's name that took the police report, and I'll give him the telephone number and the cell phone number that I have for the agent that went to your house. That's not a problem for me. I have all that information. So you want to believe it was just a jovial jest talking about my genitalia to an 8-year-old child? Well, let's find out. Because we have a person in the Philippines that wants to interview you as well. Now, getting back to some of the other most egregious stuff that you've said in the last 2 weeks. One of the things that you made a mistake saying was that when you get the money, when you sell your house, you are going to have enough money to put everybody in jail, all your adversaries. And that's what you're going to devote the rest of your life to. That shows a mental imbalance, in my opinion. So you're going to take your nest egg from your house, and you're going to spend a large portion of your life making legal complaints against various people to put them in jail at X amount of dollars per complaint, and it's going to go nowhere. But that is your goal. That is not a goal. That is not a goal. That is, I don't know what you'd call it, a psychosis, a misfiring of the synapses in your brain. I don't know what you would call it. That is not a goal. And I'll tell you why it's not a goal. Because these imagined adversaries are just that. They're imaginary. You have this. Now I don't like Dave Phelps at all. I don't like Dave Phelps. I have my own reasons. But for you to go out of your way to call Dave Phelps' wife a bar girl and an underage such and such and a such and such and a paid escort and all that other stuff, dude, that's over the line. Nobody's allowed to talk about Jimmy's wife. Nobody's allowed to mention Jimmy's wife. And while we're talking about Jimmy's wife, let's talk about the fact that you were going to get Jimmy's wife on camera to substantiate your story that you two are still together. And theoretically, you did that. Theoretically. But there was absolutely no passion or love, reciprocity from Jimmy's wife to you. It was all one way. I love you. I miss you. Jimmy's wife never said even one time she misses you. Jimmy's wife did not, D-I-D-N-O-T, did not at the end of the video say, I love you. Jimmy's wife did not say, I love you. And yet you threw it in there, I love you too, and then ended the video, thinking that maybe there was a mishearing. Jimmy's wife did not say I love you. You said I love you too and hung up the video. So if she said I love you, it had to be before you said I love you too, because yours was a response to her statement that she never said. You see, we analyzed these videos. Had Jimmy's wife said I love you and you responded I love you too, that would be okay. That would be she loves you. That would show a little bit of passion. But that never happened. But you knew it didn't happen. So you said I love you too and hung up, ended the live stream. There was never any words I love you to you, directed to you. It was always directed to Jimmy's wife. Now, where you come off talking about Barry's girlfriend, the great Barry Jordan's girlfriend being married, I don't know that there's proof of that. He has it all backwards. Yeah, there is. I don't know that you have any proof that Barry Jordan's girlfriend is married. But does it matter to me? No, it doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to me that you're dating Jimmy's wife? No, not at all. Not really. What just matters to me is that you were going to get somebody, Jimmy's wife, on live stream, and she was going to back up everything that you said. You're still together. You still love each other. You've never separated. She never offered any of that information. You had to pull it out of her in pieces, dribs and drabs. It might very well be true. It might be true you never broke up. It might be true that you painted the living room and the posters in another room. It might be true that she's always loved you and is never going to do anything but love you. But it wasn't forthcoming from her lips. You had to pull each piece of information out of Jimmy's wife to get her to say, oh, we're still together. We never broke up. It wasn't real as far as I'm concerned. Now, it doesn't have to be real as far as I'm concerned. It only has to be real in real life. But anybody viewing that video would know that Jimmy's wife never volunteered, I love you, never volunteered, I miss you, never volunteered, I can't wait for you to come back, never volunteered, I can't wait to hold you in my arms. There was no voluntary information at all about any kind of love or passion from Jimmy's wife to you. So I'm going to read the comments now. And then I think I'm going to end the live. I'm going to go through my notes. Yeah, you called Dave's wife some really nasty, horrible stuff. And then you insinuated that you're afraid that Dave might harm his own daughter. It's pretty low, dude. And the last video that's going to the NBI, or one of the three that's going to the NBI, is a video called She Got Bling. And the reason for that video is to prove voice analysis with facial recognition. So She Got Bling is 57 minutes of you degrading myself and Daisy May with your voice in your kitchen sitting next to Jimmy's wife. So the FBI will have, if they review my videos, if they care about my videos, if they care about my letter, if they even acknowledge it, Jimmy's wife was sitting next to you and she partook in the festivities to destroy Daisy and my reputation, saying things like, even Filipinos live better than Fazio. Well, why would you care about that? You keep saying all the time, why does anybody care about what you do? The real question is, why do you care about what anybody else does? Fazio has a bathroom in his kitchen. Yes, I do. Okay? And so do most Filipino families that live in, you'll see a whole family living in a 14 by 16 foot room. That's a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom. Filipinos don't have the kind of privacy we were afforded in America, with rooms and partition walls and doors and stuff like that. And that's just the way it is here in the Philippines. But you don't get that. I'm not embarrassed to live how I live because I live in a bunkhouse. It's not a house. I never said it was. It's comfortable for me because I can live like that. I lived on a boat. Believe me when I tell you, living on a boat is a lot harder than living in this house. Here I could get up and walk outside. Here I have a refrigerator with ice. On a boat, sometimes you wouldn't get ice for 3 or 4 weeks because the ice that you had on your ice chest only lasted 5 days, and you might not port where there was ice for another 2 or 3 weeks, and only to get fuel. You weren't concerned about ice. You wanted fuel. But you don't understand that because you've never done anything manly in your life. The great Barry Jordan said last night on his show that if someone stuck you in a forest, you wouldn't be able to survive. You're not capable of survival in a forest, catching your own food, cleaning your own food, making a fishing pole and catching worms and making a hook out of a couple of different thorns, where you put 2 thorns together and you wrap some string around it and put a worm on the end and you catch a fish and you eat the fish. You could even eat the fish raw. You wouldn't do that. You can eat any fish that comes out of the ocean or a lake raw. Any fish. Well, except blowfish. Well, you could eat blowfish raw, but you got to know what to eat. But that's not the point. You are not capable of doing what I do in any way, shape, or form. So for you, what do you care how I live? This is all about you. His leg is going to fall off. He's going to die of infection. That's your projection. That's what you wish on me. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because your mind is deranged, in my opinion. You have serious mental issues, dude, that go beyond normalcy. You can't say you lost your mind and went after a man with a shovel weapon over 1.5 pounds of dog doo-doo and call that normal. You were in the wrong, and you picked a fight with the guy for the sole purpose of showing what a tough guy you are. And it backfired. And it went to the authorities in Hawaii. And it went out, apparently, it went out as a part of a package. Somebody didn't like you so much, they put a package together and sent it to your immediate neighbors. Not once, but twice. And I'll tell you right now, I had nothing to do with that, although I was aware that it was either going to happen or had happened already. Someone sent me a note in the comments section and then removed their comment later on. Dude, you're not a normal person, man. You're just not normal. YouTube has taken down how many of your channels now? 5, 6, 7? That's not normal. That's just not normal. And where is your blogging skills? Where is your blogging skills? You're not a blogger, dude. You're a hater. All you do is talk about the people you hate, and you hate everybody. So that's all you do is talk about hating everybody. You have no quantifiable material that would justify as a blog about Hawaii or the Philippines. Not one video do you have up. The only video you ever made about the Philippines that I could remember was a dog, a female dog on the beach that had giant balls, and it was a female dog. Thank you. And another video you had about a burnt pizza where you lost your mind, criticized the man's business, said that the man's business, that you stayed there for a couple of nights when you first got to the Philippines, and that the man's pizzeria and hotels rooms upstairs had cockroaches the size of B-54s, all because a guy sent you a burnt pizza, a pizza that was a little burnt. 99% of the people in this world would have just forgotten that the pizza was burnt and ate it burnt. Half of the 1% that was left would have scraped off the cheese and the sauce and ate that and not complain. Only a small 5% of the people would go to make a complaint, but you went overboard. You had to destroy the man's business and character. And of course, we have it on good authority that you keep saying that you've never broken up with Jimmy's wife. And we have it on good authority of you crying every night on the internet, please don't leave me, please don't leave me. Now, where could we have gotten that from? Where do you think that information came from? Came from the other side of that little plywood wall you have. From the closet you were living in. Please don't leave. Dude, when a woman wants to leave you, and she says, I want to leave you, let it go. You're not going to change a woman's mind, nor is she going to change your mind. She begged you for years to stop blogging with the hate videos and getting her involved, and you never did that. So did she change your mind? Jimmy's wife, did she change your mind? No. Jimmy's wife couldn't change your mind about making you stop blogging, and yet she asked you, begged you, pleaded with you, threatened you, whatever, that she was going to leave you if you kept it up. And you even said that on many of your videos. My girlfriend, Jimmy's wife, let's be clear, my girlfriend's going to leave me if I don't stop. I have to get off YouTube. And then you made a video last week, a higher authority told me to get off YouTube. And then you went in full on with making videos, 3 and 4 a day, until you got both of your channels removed. Because everything that you said from that day on and before was just purely negative and hateful and spiteful and full of vengeance and all kinds of negativity. It reminds me of that guy, not Elliot Gould. I forgot the name of the video. He was flying a plane. He goes, always with the negativity. Or was it the 12, the miraculous 12 or the miracle 12? Always with the negativity. Donald Sutherland, I think his name was. And that's you, dude. You're always with the negativity. I have videos from this week of the men doing fence work, and I have a 12-minute video from my dentist office that you'll never see. I won't post that because I have everybody's face in the office clowning around and laughing. Of course, it will be sent to a few friends, but I have a great relationship with many people. I have a great relationship with most of the people around here. Everybody says hello. I mean, that's all you really can ask for in the Philippines, and I got that. Nobody bothers me. Nobody bothers. Oh, yeah. You keep saying I'm afraid to leave my tools. He has to leave the country in the spring, but he's afraid to leave his tools. Now, why would I be afraid to leave my tools? Why? If I do have a problem with security for my tools, I go like this. Hello? Yep, I'd like to hire a security guard for 24 hours a day, 24/7 for 5 days. Yes, sir. Where do you live? And they send a security guard over here for 5 days, 6 days, 3 days, 10 days. You know how much a security guard would cost me for the month? 40,000 pesos, $800. You know how much money I spent yesterday? This week? Well, the rebar bender didn't go through, so I only spent about 60,000 pesos. I can afford a security guard to come to my house if I'm worried about that, but I'm not. Okay, let me get to the comments. I never did do that. I'm going to get to the comments. So I don't worry about stuff like that because I won't tell you why, but nobody's allowed to bother me. And it's not coming from me. It comes from a higher authority. Believe me when I tell you. Nobody is allowed to bother me. And that's known throughout the entire area. And there's a reason for that. Okay, let's go to the comments. Let's refresh this page. I'll read the comments. But there was a lot of comments. Yeah. I got people named, fictitious people named Mike Ross. You're going to get thrown out of... I didn't get thrown out of the prawn farm. The first thing out of the corporate exec's mouth was, Michael, we would like to thank you for making videos about our establishment, our restaurant. Okay, please don't leave me in the closet. Oh boy, we have to, oh God, you guys have pages of this stuff. Okay. Pronks Shaved Mule says Ricky Drunkard would never show up at your home. Well, he could show up at my house, and he could run his mouth all he wants, but it will be short-lived, and he doesn't frighten me at all. So I mean, I can't stop him from standing outside. He's going to stand outside, he said, with a bullhorn. That's hilarious. That is just hilarious. How does he think that's going to work out for him? Notice, we'll talk about the slob for a minute. Notice that the coward, he had a show on last night where he went back to Treetown. Yeah, he went back to Treetown. And he wasn't afraid of going back to Treetown. Let me tell you why he wasn't afraid to go back to Treetown, so that you know why. He went back to Treetown. There was some sort of a musical event where every blogger that was any blogger with any control or power or big subscriber base was not going to be in that restaurant last night. They were going to be at the musical event. So he had nothing to fear. None of his adversaries were going to be there. So he went back like a big tough guy, but he ain't a big tough guy. Ask him why he didn't blog for 7 weeks. That's what you should ask him. The guy was making $1,000 a week in Super Chat. Why did he stop? He stopped because somebody told him something that put the fear of God into him, I guess. No one stops making $1,000 a week in Super Chat for no reason at all. So the slob is a coward. And if the slob thinks he's going to stand in front of my house with a bullhorn at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and yell out my name, it's not going to happen. I don't see it happening at all. Not that there would be, I'm not even talking about consequences. I'm talking about it ain't going to happen. He's just got a big mouth. And not only that, if you remember, and I remember, the slob said he's going to be home for Christmas where he belongs with his family. So what is today's date? November 13th. The slob also said last night he was going to Bohol for a month. And yet the slob says he's going to, you're going to be home for Christmas and the holidays. Well, if he's going home for the holidays, just do it by the numbers, because the idiot, we won't leave it up to the idiot. The idiot can't do math. But if the slob is going home for the holidays, he's got to get there by, say, December 20th, right? So if the slob is going to spend a month in Bohol, he's got to leave for Bohol within the next few days and then make plans to go back to America. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't see that in his future to do that. I mean, logistically, it just doesn't seem possible. He's in wherever he's in Bangkok. That means he has to fly here. He's going to spend a month here abusing people. Believe me, it won't last a month. He's not going to be able to do what he does. He thinks he can do this. He can't do this kind of stuff. But he thinks he can. Flywood's, he can't get into the fills. I forgot all about that part of it. Yeah, you're right. That's right. You're absolutely right, Frank. Thank you. I forgot about it. So he can't come to the Philippines. I forgot all about it. I don't pay attention to that border control stuff. He can't come to the Philippines, so how can he come here? Unless it opens up in a few days, which it could, but thank you, Flywoods. I forgot all about it. He's not coming here, and yet he was running his mouth that he's going to come here spend a month here abusing people in Bohol. He's not going to do that. It won't last a month. Believe me when I tell you, I will have this under control in a matter of a few minutes or less. I'm very capable. Okay, so he's not coming. Yeah, he calls me Tumor Man. I will bet you $100,000, and that I could back up, that I don't have a tumor over my left eye, but he calls me Tumor Man. See, he wishes I had a tumor over my left eye. He just makes this stuff up, just like he makes up the stories that I never owned a barge or a crane or a tugboat or a backhoe or a track hoe. He makes this stuff up, just like he makes up the stories of everything that he makes up. And then he believes his own rhetoric. He can't prove. Can I prove I owned a barge? Absolutely. I had a barge for 11 years. It's not hard to prove. It's 30 feet wide and 55 feet long. 50 feet long, 55 with the stern drive out in the back. It weighs 188 tons, and it was registered to Michael Thomas Fazio for 11 years by the United States Coast Guard. How hard is that to prove? He says I don't have an A&P jet mechanics license. One of his trolls said that my brother has an A&P jet mechanics license. And I used my brother's credentials, and I falsified that I have a jet mechanics license. Why don't one of you guys come forward and wager me? You know I have $10,000. Wager me $10,000. And I'll bring you to the airport, and I'll okay to open up my federal records to show you my license. That's still current. My license is not only an A&P jet mechanics license, but it's still current. I keep it current. It stays current. I've never lost that license. Why don't one of you guys wager me $10,000? Simple enough. Either I have an FAA approved A&P jet mechanics license or I don't. It's not like either I have a registration for a Cobra Mustang or I don't. If I have a registration for an Ocean Racer or I don't. Why don't you guys put some money where your mouth is? We have another clown last night on the Slob, the Coward's channel, saying, I can't even buy a rebar bender. How am I supposed to build a hotel? Well, where is it that I haven't tried to buy a rebar bender? I've paid for one 5 times. And 5 times the seller screwed up the order or didn't want to sell it for the agreed price. It's not my fault I don't have a rebar bender. It's because people here can't keep their word. But they project it as he can't even buy a rebar bender. I bought one 5 times. I paid for it 5 times. I could show you the paperwork. The woman said, we're going to show you our credentials. She showed me a piece of paper with a BIR tax number on it that is current up until 2023. And that's it. And their game plan for the company. Did she send me what I asked for? I asked for a link showing the actual product. I asked for a link for the service manual for the product. And I asked for the company that sells replacement parts for the product. I asked for a video of that product in their warehouse, and I asked for a video of their warehouse and their truck. It's a 200,000 peso order, $4,000 order. Go send somebody out with a cell phone and make a video of the warehouse, the truck, and the product. And then you give me the link for the replacement parts and the service manual. I never got that. It's not my fault I don't own a rebar bender. And I don't need one just yet. But that's not the point. The point is you people make this stuff up. How much do you want to wager to say that I don't have an A&P jet mechanics license? How much is it worth to somebody out there? Is it worth $10,000 that you would put on the line? Is it worth $20,000 that you will put on the line? Is it worth more? I can back up whatever you want to lose because I have a jet mechanics license, A&P, airframe and power plant. So what is it that you want to wager? Do you want to wager $10,000 about my registration for my SR311 Ocean Racer or my Cobra Mustang? Do you want to wager my 2001 Cobra convertible Mustang? Do you want to wager $10,000 or $20,000? What is it that you want to wager? You keep hearing this clown on YouTube say he can't prove any of this. I can prove it with registrations and documentation. And yet he doesn't want to wager anything because he knows he's going to lose. I embarrass him every time. He embarrasses himself every time because I have proof and he doesn't. And all he needs to do is take one of my wagers for $10,000. The first one will give him seed money if he wins to take the second one and the third one, but he can't win. I am telling you the truth about the things I have owned and how long I owned them. But this guy is a total buffoon. Back to the comments. And a liar. The social experiment backfired. He cares so much about what strangers think about his bank account. And he has so much money, why doesn't he wager me $10,000 about my A&P license? It's a federal license. I can't forge it. My registration for my Cobra is a state license. I can't forge that. Same for the Ocean Racer. Same for the barge. He only has 10,000 pesos. That's probably true. Canoy in the Philippines, thanks for stopping by. Canoy loves to make these comments about farm animals. Thanks, Canoy. Oh, yeah. What about the Photoshop? This is a picture of Jimmy's wife today. And yet, that had nothing to do with the way Jimmy's wife looked on the video. Now, you hear all kinds of stories. None of it's true, man. None of it's true. It was Jimmy's wife was in the video, yeah, but Jimmy's wife was not the girl in the Photoshop picture. Why would he say this is her today? Why? Everybody knows that's not true. And then he goes on to say, well, that was a joke. Well, why do you have to lie about everything, dude? You lie about everything. Paradoxical Q. Paradoxical Q has a higher education. It's Michael's prerogative to send whatever video he likes to the proper authority. Of course, it's me he's talking about in the video with the child. It's me he's making fun of. I have that right. I have the right to contact the parents of the children, and I have the right to contact the local authorities, and I have the right to contact anybody involved in the case. I will live beyond 100 years. Strong genes. Thank you. The slob. I don't think. No, and you know what the guy Jimmy's wife's boyfriend said? Jimmy's wife's boyfriend said, wait, I have to read this. Jimmy's wife boyfriend said he never asks other people to fight his battles in a video that he posted 24 hours ago from now. It's gone because his channel's gone. I never ask anybody to fight my battles. And yet, didn't he pass the baton over to the coward, 007 coward / slob? Didn't he pass the baton to 007 slob and Richie? He did. And he asked them directly, it's up to you now. I'm going off YouTube. It's up to you to attack Fazio. He blatantly, openly asked those two people to take up the battle against Fazio where he leaves off. That is requesting help. And yet yesterday he said he never did it. He lies about everything. DNC is a legend, and I'm not. DNC was a legend. You're right. You could have been a contender, Flying Circus. Oh, I've told the 007 slob many a time that his lifestyle of just buying women's affection. Yeah, let's just talk about the slob for a minute. Then I got to end this video. I got something I want to do outside. Have you ever seen the slob pick up a normal woman? No. He only picks up women with, I think they call them lines. What's your line in Thailand? It means, are you part of a dating association? I think that's what it means. I'm pretty sure. In other words, if a girl has a line and you have a line, then you are approved to meet one another. And that means that I think every 3 weeks the girl and the guy get tested for communicable diseases. I think that's what it means. I don't know a lot about that. But the first thing he asks a girl is, what's your line? Which means that if she says she has a line, that means that she's open for business. And if she doesn't have a line, he's never met a girl, a normal, regular girl. And he went into Treetown last night. What did he say? There's no women here. Dude, no woman that doesn't have a line is going to look at you or me for that matter. You know, especially in Thailand where that stuff is openly acceptable. What's 114 kilos? What is 114 kilos? He's never picked up. Oh. Yeah, maybe in that picture, 114 kilos. 114 kilos is a lot, dude. I don't think she weighs that much. Maybe 54 or 64 kilos, but 114 kilos, I'm almost 114 kilos. Or I am 114 kilos. I'm 110 kilos. Or 107 kilos. She doesn't weigh 114 kilos. No, don't go there with that. Yeah, he said he was a sexpat. Why would he say that? You've never heard me say that. You've never even heard me insinuate that. In fact, all the girls I dated here in the Philippines, I have videos of every one of them except Mila, M-I-L-A. I have a video of her back and we're standing in the ocean. She didn't want her face in the video. We went to the Church of Simla together. Every girl I ever dated, I made videos of and posted it on YouTube. because I'm not embarrassed to date those girls. No, well, none of them were paid escorts, so why would I be embarrassed? But that the slob, that's all he dates is paid escorts because that's all he can get. He doesn't have he doesn't have a personality. When you bottom line it, his personality is garbage. He can't carry on a conversation. Everything he says is five or six words and some fake laugh. 5 or 6 more words and a joke. 5 or 6 more words and like that with his teeth that look like God, his teeth. It looks like someone spaced them with they didn't use a spark plug feeler gauge. They used a spark plug to space his teeth. God. And until just about 4 weeks ago, his teeth had about 10 years of plaque buildup on them. They were black halfway down and halfway up. When he smiled, his teeth were just black. I mean, who has dental hygiene like that? Really? The guy has that much money and he doesn't spend $50 to go get his teeth cleaned. The man he's a slob. He calls himself a slob. He admits he's a slob. He's a slob by definition. He's a slob. That's why he calls himself the fat slob. That's what he is. He's a disgusting human being, in my opinion. All right. All right, so that's pretty much it for now. Over joking, says Canoy. It's not over joking. It's nothing but one-liners. And he laughs at every one of his own jokes. Did you hear me laugh at anything I said in the last hour? No, because I'm talking serious. But when I talk to people, I might have a jovial laugh, might be real, might not be real. In the dentist's office yesterday, I got the dentist and myself laughing at something that he did, which was when he left me alone to go get the Part B. This is either Part A or Part B of a two-part adhesive. The guy disappeared. He goes, I'll be right back. I have to go to my other office. He disappeared for, I don't know how long I was sleeping. I was sleeping for a long time. I was sleeping. The other dentist put somebody in the chair when he left the room. I woke up when they were transferring another patient into that chair. However long the first patient took, they put a second patient in that chair. She did dental work on him. I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, he was gone and she was in the front doing paperwork. And I waited about 20 minutes more for my dentist to come back. And we had a good laugh. I wanted to know how much money he was taking off the bill for my waiting time. Of course, he's not going to take any money off the bill, and I didn't expect him to take any money off the bill, but I can ask. So, but we had a good laugh over that, and we had a good laugh over a couple other things that were, normally I stay after he does my dental work, and all of us, the secretary, the other dentist, and his wife, we all have conversation about various things. So basically, he doesn't do that with any of the other guests or patients, but with me, he likes to talk to me, and I like to talk to him. He's a pretty interesting guy. But I would never show that video for multitudes of reasons. I'll send him a copy, and I'll send 4 or 5 of my close friends a copy, and that's it. But I made a cool video in his office where you could see that we're all friends. As far as friendly. All right. Okay then. I'll say thank you for everybody for coming. It's an hour. I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes, but I don't care. So right now, if it's not raining any further, and it's rained every day. Oh God, did it rain yesterday? It rained. I don't know how much it rained. Had this much water in a 5-gallon bucket. So an inch and a half of water is a lot of rain. I gotta get some personal stuff done outside. Thank you, Canary in the Philippines, for stopping by. Have a great day. I'm going to be back on live in about an hour. Oh yeah, one more thing. He keeps worrying about my leg and it's going to get cut off. And he keeps saying, my friend Larry. Who is this friend of yours, Larry? My friend Larry has the same thing on his leg. Apparently not, dude. You keep saying I have diabetes. Even I showed you the doctor's reports, the cardiac panel. Hey, Patrick. Thanks for stopping by, Patrick. Thank you. You keep saying I have diabetes. I showed you the cardiac panel from Ace Hospital 2 days ago. All my blood work is perfect. And the little man comes back on later. Thanks, DQ. Thanks for stopping by. I showed the cardiac panel. I showed it close up. I went over the numbers. And yet the little man who lies about everything says, well, maybe we don't know that those numbers are real. What am I supposed to do? Take a document from a hospital and then somehow in color, no less, in color, I'm going to somehow replicate the document but change the numbers in the same print? Really? Here are the numbers, you moron. And there's the color. Complete blood count. Hemoglobin, RCBs, all that stuff. The LDC, there was one that was supposed to be more prone to, this one here. This is the one that would show if I had diabetes, this one here. And this moron believes that somehow that in my shack I have a printer that I could print this stuff out and then modify it. Like I'm going to do that. Here we go. Here it is again, Mr. Lying Man. Here we are. Well, and here are the bottom ones. These are the ones that are supposed to count the cholesterol LDH or LDL and HDL. And those are all the numbers. Those are all the correct numbers. So this moron keeps insinuating that somehow I copied this page and then I changed the numbers. Why don't you bet me $100,000 that we will go to the hospital, because this was sent to me in an email and I have it in email format, but we'll go to the hospital and I'll give them permission to open up the file. $100,000. You're going to be rich or broke, or worse if you don't give me the money, because you're going to lose. See, this is something about me that you don't understand. If I say something, it's true. The other guy keeps saying if he says something, it's true, and he's never proven anything. Ever. Never has he ever proven anything against me to be true. And he's not going to. He's not going to have the opportunity to do so because he hasn't enough information to prove anything, any wrongdoing on my behalf. He could say he doesn't like what I say, but it's not a threat. He could say he doesn't like me, but I never threatened him. He could say I'm not allowed to say those things, but there's no law to justify what he says. And a lot of stuff that he doesn't understand, there's a limitation as to where you are when you say something and where he is when he hears it. And there's a limitation to the time that's allowed between the original statement and making a claim. Like, I don't know what the dates are, but if you threaten, like Barry is supposed to have threatened him, okay? Well, Barry's in one country and he's in another. Barry can't even go there. Can he take that as being serious? I guess. But there's going to be a limitation on where is the liver enzymes. There's 3 pages there. Send me $50 super chat and your email, and I'll email you the whole thing. Don't tell me it's not a complete blood count. You send me $50 and your email address, and I'll send you I'll forward the email to you. Don't come on and question my word. That's going to go nowhere. In fact, I'm going to shit can you right now. Okay? There are 3. I told you there were 3. I told you there were 3. Send me $50 and I'll forward the email to you. Don't ever question what I tell you. Ever. You want to come on here and be a jerk, I'll just shit can you, okay? I don't have any love for you. You don't send me super chat. You don't PayPal me, and I have no love for you at all. I see you make a lot of comments. You take up a lot of my time. You make a lot of derogatory comments towards the little fella, but you don't do anything for me at all. In fact, I'm just going to shit can you. You're out of here. Don't ever question anything that I say, ever. Anybody, don't ever question it. Unless you're willing, I'm going to give you 45 seconds to say you'll wager me $1,000. And you send me a $50 super chat, and I will send you the documents, these 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. If you don't send me a $50 super chat, that's okay. But I'm going to shit can you, and that's okay too. Don't question what I say, dude. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long I know you. People that know me don't question my word, ever. I'm not like that. I am not like that at all. In real life, nobody questions what I say in real life. They may question it if they have the authority to question it, but you're just a name on a screen. Canaway in the Philippines, thanks. Bang a pot for old times. That guy doesn't have a lot of time left. In fact, your 45 seconds was up. Andrew Steinmetz took care of you. I'm telling you people right now, everybody, I'm going to go get the pot. Never question what I say in real life or on YouTube unless you're willing to back it up with large sums of money. Because everything I told you today and in every other video I ever made, the little man, Jimmy's wife's boyfriend, said that I was telling tall tales yesterday about my friend Tracy LaRue. That was the county buildings department manager, Tracy LaRue. That's the guy who drew up the plans for my house with myself on a pizza box. That's the guy who I became. He was saying, I'm doing, bet me money. Bet me $50,000. Let's go $50,000. I will meet you in Traverse City, Michigan. You got to put it in escrow. I will meet you in Traverse City, Michigan. We'll go to the County Hall of Records and we'll find out if there was a man named Tracy LaRue or LaRose, going back to 1990 now, it's 30 years ago, whether he was the buildings department in charge of building. Don't ever question what I say. Question whether I had an ocean racer or not. The thing sat in back of my house for 9 years with the name of my company on it. And the fraud, the little fella, said, oh, well, that was the name of a plumbing company. Yeah, On Time Backhoe was the name of a plumbing company. He can never admit that he has not owned some things that justifiably would give him a better social status. He's never had those things. That's okay. My neighbors didn't have ocean races. My neighbors didn't have Cobras. My neighbors had regular cars and regular little runabout boats. I like to go fast. Let's go get a pot. Bang a pot. Make a lot. I like big, powerful machines. Wire-board cranes, barges, tugboats. I like that stuff. I like it because I can do it, and very few people in the world can do it. Don't ever question my word. I don't care who you are, how long I know you. My friends don't question me. Maybe in private they'll say something, but they'll never question me in public. That's why they're my friends. Canoe in the Philippines is my friend. You know, I don't want to talk about what happened to you personally, but there was a guy that did actually get Canoe in the Philippines in trouble. If you want to share that story. You people on YouTube, you're a bunch of malicious, jealous, selfish little people. Canoe in the Philippines, he just sent me 10,000 pennies. Canoe in the Philippines, salamat. 1,000 pennies. Salamat. Canoe in the Philippines, he sent me 1,000 pennies. Salamat. It's getting ready to snow where Canoe lives in Canada. And as to whether or not I own property in Michigan, public record. Make a lot, smile a lot. See, that's what these creepy guys and women on YouTube do. They come on with some benign sentences, and then they question. They question whether or not, where is the live account? I told you it's 3 pages. I showed them to you yesterday, day before yesterday. What I got to show them every day? Wager me some money that they don't exist. Let me work my while. I don't owe you anything. I owe none of you people anything that come on my channel. If I don't know who you are, if I don't know your real name and your real telephone number and where you live, I owe you nothing. If I don't have your email address, if I haven't been communicating with you for years or months, I owe you nothing. You don't have the right to question what I say to be true or not true. You have the right to wager money against my words as whether or not they're truthful or not. And you have the right to wager as much money as you want and lose or win, but you don't have the right to question. The proper way to ask me for those liver results would be to say, look, I'm going to send you $10 for Super Chat. Can you please show us the results for the liver? I don't know who you are. Why should I take the time to answer your questions? That's what the Super Chat button is for. asking questions and getting responses. Short of that, I read your comments because I had a few extra minutes and because it was raining again today. Again, raining. Been raining every day. So hold on a minute. Man, you people are a trip. I put my glasses in my pocket, automatic. Oh my God, let's see what else we have here. Another 1,000 pennies. You tell him, Mr. Fazio. Let's talk about the other guy for a minute. The man can't do simple math. Now, I've called him out on his spelling skills. Okay, he doesn't have an education. That we know. He can't pronounce words. He gets words like, my leg, he said, should be in a parabolic chamber. Parabolic. Let me go through parabolic for you. Let me show you what a parabolic is. Parabolic. See this? See this? You see this chamber in here? Moron. Parabolic. A parabolic chamber. This chamber at that little yellow dot is a light source. This is a parabolic reflector. There's no such thing as a parabolic chamber per se that helps people with injuries to their leg, that's for sure. So what happens with this light source? I will say it right now. I'm 1,000 times smarter than 99.9% of everybody on YouTube. I don't care whether you're a scientist or a doctor or a jet pilot. They all have their expertise, but my expertise expands into so many fields you would have no comprehension. Can a doctor with all his skills run a crane, get into a D8 and plow a field, rip rock? Can a doctor operate a crane, a bobcat, a drill rig? No. I can't do surgery. But can they run an ocean racer? Probably not. Have they ever raced a car at the track at 175 miles an hour? Probably not. Do they know how to install a $1,000 doorknob on a $3,000 door? Probably not. Do they know how to varnish a door? Probably not. These people all have their expertise. My expertise goes into so many different places you can't count. So here's a parabolic reflector, moron, as opposed to a parabolic chamber. Hyperbolic chamber. Hyperbolic chamber. You're a moron, dude. You're one of the stupidest bloggers I've ever met in my entire life. You get everything a little wrong or a lot wrong. The other day you were doing math and you said 120 pesos a day, let's say, is what they pay for a pack of cigarettes, what the great Barry Jordan pays for a pack of cigarettes. You have no skills when it comes to education that I can see, which is okay. But let's say he smokes 2 packs a day. That's $2.40 a day. And then you said that's $70, right? No, moron, it's $72. Then you said, let's expand that to 3 packs a day, which should be 120, 120, and 120 is $3.60. And you said that would be $4.40 a day. You can't even add 120 times 3, let alone multiply it. You shouldn't be doing math. So this is a parabolic reflector. The way it works is that as the light comes out of that yellow light source, it hits in this reflector and it is pushed forward in a straight line. And they hone these parabolic reflectors down in different ways. Some are smooth. The old ones, a headlight. The old headlights that had the silver lining in them, that's a parabolic reflector. It reflects the light forward. A hyperbolic chamber is something that forces oxygen into your body. You are such an incompetent person when it comes to words and math. Nobody should ever listen to anything you say. You're incompetent. Your education is not to the point where you should be spouting off facts on YouTube. That's the difference between a parabolic reflector, which has nothing to do with oxygen levels, and a hyperbolic chamber, which has to do with removing nitrogen narcosis from a person's body or adding oxygen to one's blood. You don't even research the stuff you talk about. And I knew this stuff off the top of my head because I am a diver. You lie about everything. Canoe in the Philippines, again. The beautiful sound of a pot. Well, let's just, you know what I should do? I should bang a pot. Canoe, salamat. Canoe. I guess you don't want to share, but the guy we're talking about, what he did to you, remember? This guy that I'm talking about in this show, he does this to everybody. He's not happy about anything in his life, ever. Apparently, he's jealous of everybody. It's apparent beyond apparency. Apparency is apparent, apparently. Another thing, you add words that are not in the diction. You have such a small understanding of the English language. All right, so salamat, thank you for the super chat. And that guy who wants the liver results, well, now you can't because you're blocked. But the right way to ask me a question is not to question whether or not the results are full results. Where's the 3 pages? Pay me. Super chat me, and I'll show you all 3 pages. Super chat me, give me your email, and I'll forward the email to you. It's not, then you know it's not made up. You don't ask the question right, and I have every right to not answer the question. And that's what that sneaky guy did. He came on, little comment, waiting to throw a dig at me at the end of the day. That's the way a professional troll works. Thank you very much. Canoe in the Philippines. Salamat. Okay, I do believe it's time. And now it's time to say goodbye to all my friends. And thank you for stopping by the show. This is Michael Fazio. I am the most congenial person you'll ever meet in your entire life. No one has ever caught me in a lie, ever, on YouTube. I am a jet mechanic, airframe and power plant certified, and my license is still current. I did own a Cobra Mustang 2001 silver with a black rag top for 10 years. And then I sold it and got a Ford F-250 Super Duty truck. Cashed it in for a truck. I did own a barge from May 15th till 1999, till May of 1999. A 30 by 50 self-propelled crane barge. I did own an SR311 Ocean Racer made by Formula for 10 years. 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, 12 years. And it was all of those things were registered under my name. Barge by the U.S. Coast Guard, the boat and the car by the Florida State Motor Vehicle. And I did buy a house in 1999. I've heard stories where I made a lie loan. You are such a snake to call it a lie. He's the freak, the creep, the freaky. He says he did a lie loan and took the money and moved to the Philippines with the money. You are such a liar. You can't prove that. You can't prove it. It's not provable because it never happened. You are such a liar. I don't know how you live. Oh, and one more thing, you're afraid of your own shadow. What you are is afraid to leave the house. That's why you don't blog. You don't blog because your skill sets when it comes to blogging are garbage. You don't blog because you are afraid of leaving the house and someone that you don't know, that you've never seen before, doing something to you. Whatever it is, I don't know. That's what you're afraid of. You have pissed off so many people that you're afraid to leave the house. You've never been anywhere with a camera by yourself. You're a paranoid little man. I can't hold that against you, but don't call yourself a blogger when all your blogs just revolve around nothing more than hating on other people. That's not blogging. That's drama, but it's not blogging. And that's why we call you the drama queen. Umping Permy, which means take care always, from the Philippines, baby. Thank you, Canoy. I can share it. Okay. Canoy just gave me permission to share what the same guy who this show is about did to Canoy. Okay? So there used to be a conglomerate of people that we were friendly with one another. Canoy, Scott Del Fuego, Jack Thompson, She Corsairs, the Big E, Roberto, and many others, many of the women on Chi's show. And we all got together on Chi's show or my show, and we had laughs and stuff like that. But what the creep did, or what he did that was creepy, was somehow the little fella got Canoy's personal information. And Canoy was very generous to Chi Corsairs. I don't know how generous, but on any given day, he might throw her $50 or $75. And what the little fella did was he got in touch with Canoy in the Philippines, his wife, and kept track of how much money I think Canoy gave Chi, and caused a rift between Canoy and his wife. What business is that of his? If Canoy wanted to give, it was his money. He earned it. If Canoy wanted to give his money to Chi or anybody else, for myself, this guy just is jealous of anybody who makes money. He's jealous of the great Barry Jordan, who doesn't really make that much money. Nobody should be jealous of another blogger that sits on the channel and gives you entertainment for an hour or 2 hours. Nobody should be jealous of that. The fact that the little fella can't entertain people with anything other than hate, and people don't want to reward hate. They don't want to. They don't mind rewarding me to make a joke about this guy, but they don't want to reward hate. They'll watch hate. They'll watch the drama unfold. But that guy got in touch with Canoy in the Philippines, his wife, somehow kept track of how much money Canoy gave Chi, and it caused a big problem in their life for a while. And it was none of his business. Isn't that what he says? Mind your own business? This guy can't mind his own business. And he is nothing but an angry little man. Billy Joel, the Angry Young Man song. Just listen to it and think of the little fella curled up in a hole somewhere, afraid to leave the house, afraid to walk to the store by himself, has so much money, but he doesn't own a car. He doesn't own a motorcycle or a moped or a bicycle, never leaves the house except to walk the dog, and he has a wonderful life. His life is destroying other people's life. That's his life. All right, I got people sending me messages now. Hold on a minute. I didn't want to share that part, Canoy, but I do. So basically, the little fella caused enough problems between Canoy and his wife to separate them as husband and wife. And to him, this is his life. This is what he lives for. I'm telling you what he said when he gets his money from selling his house. He's going to have enough money to put so many people in jail, were his exact words. Maybe somebody will stop you before that happens. Maybe just somebody's had enough of your crap, which is why you don't leave the house, because you know that you've caused enough problems in this world for somebody to just walk up to you and, say something or do something to you that you would not be agreeable to. And you're a coward. All that tough guy shit. I walk around the city. I go here. I go there. I work in my yard all alone. I walk around the city. I walk around the stores. I go outside. I walk around the stores behind the mall to look at. I have hardware stores and stuff I go to. Good morning, Michael speaking. How may I help you? Good morning. Yeah, Patty, I got your mail, Patty. You said you were going to send me evidence that your company was a legitimate company. You sent me your BIR tax certificate, which is good until 2023, which is, you sent me your business license, and you sent some documentation from the barangay that you're in, and all underneath Michelle's name. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're asking me to put 168,000 pesos in your bank account. That doesn't prove that I'm going to get the machine. Right, but you okay? Please just let me finish. You show the name of the store, but there's no pictures of the store or the machine. There's no pictures of the machine, and I requested four things for you to sell the machine. I requested pictures of your store with your trucks, your delivery truck with your name on the side. I requested a picture of the machine. I requested a link for the machine. I requested a service manual for the machine. And I requested a parts manual for the machine, where to buy parts from, replacement parts. I didn't get any of those things. Uh, Hello? Yeah, I didn't get any of the things I requested. You don't stock the rebar bender itself? Yeah, okay, I heard you. You don't have trucks, you rent trucks, and you don't have the product in your store. You're a reseller. You're a middleman. Nah, I'm not. I can't put that much money. Okay, I can't do that. I'm a legitimate businessman, and I see you have your license, but there's nothing that will prove to me I would get the machine. Now, if I went to Manila, would I be able to pick the machine up at your store? Well, I'm not going to pay for it. I would have to go to your store, and you would have to have the machine there. Then I would buy it. If if I decided to buy that machine, yeah, I would go to Manila to buy the machine. That's crazy to do. Yeah, it is, but it's more crazy to give you 168,000 pesos. Okay. I believe you. I believe you. Ma'am, I'm not saying you're going to rob me, but I can't take the chance. Uh, okay. All right, then I'm going to say thank you very much. When I requested those things, that was that was what I wanted. I didn't want anything less. I got your information that you sent me, but I will just say thank you and we'll say goodbye. Okay. Okay, Patty. Bye bye. to send her $168, or come to Manila. And if I go to Manila, they won't have the machine. I have to pay for the machine and then wait a few days for it to get delivered to their company. And their company doesn't have a truck or a way to put it on a truck. Basically, who I was talking to was a secretary that has a book to get the machine that have no tools to handle the machine. I don't know. I don't know how that works. What they wanted was 168,000 pesos. They were going to waive the VAT tax from Lazada. They were going to screw Lazada out of their commission. They were never going to touch the machine. They were never going to see the machine. They were going to order it from another dealer. That's what she just said. We order it from somebody else, and they ship directly to me. Well, we tried that once before. They were going to ship it directly to me, and then it stopped at Alpha Bravo shipping in Tagbilaran, and they wanted $600 to bring it the last 10 miles. $500. See, this is what you get in the Philippines. I bought this machine 5 times, including once from her company, and canceled the order. So this is why I say, would I go to Manila to buy that machine? Probably, yeah. I have something else I want from Manila that's there that I could pick up. I wouldn't send the money for as well. But they don't have the machine in their warehouse. When I asked them for the machine, pictures of the machine, they don't have pictures of the machine. Another company has the machine in their warehouse, and they're not going to give me that information. And when I asked her for the service manual, they don't have that. And when I asked her for the parts manual, they don't have that. And when I asked her to show me her trucks, they don't have trucks. They rent trucks by the day. And when I asked her to show me the warehouse, they only have some inventory. Most everything is ordered from a third party, and then they never see the item. I call up, like me, hello, Aldo's Pizza? Aldo's Pizza. Oh, God. Aldo's Pizza. Look that up in... Look... Why would I... Look that up in... Look up Aldo's Pizza in the 1980s. See who hung out there. Anyway... hello, Aldo's Pizza. Yeah, I want you to. This is the greaser. Send a pizza over to my buddy Ernie at 16440, blah blah blah, 90 such and such street. Okay, Mike. Okay, thanks, Aldo. And I never see the pizza. I only order the pizza and send it to somebody else. So. Aldo's Pizza. That's a famous pizzeria for sure. Anyway, yeah, but they assure me they're a reputable company because they have a tax ID number, and so apparently these machines are not worth anything near what they're asking for them, because they wanted 168. They were taking off the VAT tax. They're buying it from another company, which means they're probably paying, well, they're paying less than 168. Maybe they're paying 150. I don't know. They might be making $300 to float the deal. And that's okay. They can make money. But I need to see the machine. She didn't send me a picture of the machine. She didn't send me a... It's okay for me to ask for a parts catalog. I'm going to buy a machine for almost $4,000. I want to buy parts. Where do I buy parts? What do I have to do? Take it apart, put the part back together as best I can, weld it up, grind it down, and then bring it to a machine shop and have them make me a new part? I don't want to do that. I want to order a part on the phone with a part number. It's an amazing thing, living in the Philippines. Anyway, you heard that? Did I make that up? No, the phone rang and I answered the phone. Canoe in the Philippines said, sorry to hear. He also was a catalyst for breaking up Barry and Babes. Now trying his hardest to break up Dimples. And his long-term promise to have me deported. Flywoods, deported. Ain't gonna happen. But Canoe in the Philippines from my friend Flywoods. Like you, the life of hell brings us to the greatest lady. Canoe in the Philippines, it does. Probably raised prices 100% over their cost. Probably. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt because it was a third party. But yeah, and there are machines, no-name machines, for 110,000 pesos. So I don't think it would be quite double, but 35% above what they're paying for it would probably be reasonable. And in addition to that, the machines that are 110,000 pesos, I would have bought one of those. Not a problem. It's a no-name machine with no warranty. However, they still want $600 for shipping. So now it's not $2,200. It's $2,800, back to $3,000 for a machine that they cannot send me a link for, or a service manual, or a parts manual. Do you people not understand I'm a jet mechanic? Before I buy something, I want to see a service and a parts manual for it. The parts manual for my 428B backhoe was $150. Service parts manual was about this thick. But you look in it, you see a part number RB22-4-5, 6, and then 6 in parentheses. That means there's 6 bolts. You can order all 6 or 4, but the part is right there. You have the part in your hand. You just took the item off. You order the part, and then next morning from Caterpillar, it's at your front door. 24-hour delivery. Here, I would have to start searching for parts, maybe in China. I don't want to do that. I want the item, I want the parts catalog, I want to know the company's still in business, and I want the service manual. I don't care about the service manual so much because I know how to service the machine. But I want a parts manual. With the parts manual, you can do the service. With the service manual, you can't order the parts. All right. So, Flywoods, I'll give you a minute. If you want to post the link to your channel, feel free to do so. I need some water. I just drank 2 of these bottles. Yeah, he's an expert on everything except making videos without getting his channel shut down. That's another thing. He doesn't do anything anymore. He's in that house all alone. Well, all alone. All alone. And all day, that's all he does is flag my videos. I have had, I don't know, 4 videos. The monetization was taken off of 4 videos. And I know I didn't say anything wrong in any of those videos. So I asked for a personal review. And all 4 videos, the monetization went back on. But this is all he does. He's flagging people's videos, whether there's something in the video to flag or not. And so YouTube demonetized 4 videos. I said I want a personal review, and within, I don't know, a day or so, the video went back onto monetization. This is all he does, is try to destroy things that other people spend their life to build up, or their time to build up. Now, to be honest with you, the screen is flashing colors in the air. To be honest with you, I'm not jealous that people send money to Barry Jordan. I actually like that because Barry doesn't have much, man. Okay? And he tries, Barry gives it 110% all the time. He doesn't have much to work with. He tells you right up front, he doesn't lie about his stature. He doesn't lie about his education. He doesn't lie about his money. He goes, no, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for that. I can't do that. He's an honest man. I actually enjoy watching Barry's show because he is an honest man. He's not afraid to say that he can't do something. He said, somebody came on his channel saying, Fazio will never build a hotel. And Barry said, well, I don't know anything about construction or rebar benders or tools, so I don't know what Fazio has. He could have agreed with the guy just for the drama aspect of it, but he didn't do that. He gave an honest answer. He's pretty much of an honest man. And that little man that we're talking about here, he has accused Barry of smoking crack and smoking shabu, where I don't see any physical proof of that. He has accused Barry of dating an underage girl. Let me tell you something about this underage girl crap, okay? B-Bots was accused of dating an underage girl. The police came, he got arrested, he went to jail. But the police couldn't prove that the girl was underage because she didn't have a birth certificate. So he got off on a technicality. But either way, the police couldn't prove that she was underage. So in order for the little fella to prove that Barry was dating an underage girl, they have to find that girl, they have to get her identification, and then they have to find out when the video was made and see if she was above or below age when the video was made. Other than that, he can't say that girl was underage, and yet he does. And he calls Barry names because of it. I have no problem with people giving money to Barry. I subscribe to his girlfriend's channel. Probably not what I'm used to as far as content is concerned, but she's a Filipina. She's not an American with, 20 years experience of moving around the country and this, that, and the other thing. She's doing the best she can. She's not, her blog made perfect sense about forgiveness and yesterday's blog and, try to get along with everybody. That's a perfectly great topic. Me personally, I listened to the whole thing, or at least until I went to sleep. But it's not something that I would talk about, forgiveness. I'm more of a not forgiveness person. I believe that once you're an adult and you do something malicious to somebody, then, you did it on purpose. Can't say you're sorry about that. Can't say you're sorry. I don't believe in I'm sorry. If you're sorry and you're an adult, then you shouldn't have did it. Unless you're truly sorry and you have penance for it in monetary, or you give something else in return as a way to show you're sorry. But the words I'm sorry, that's what that means to me. Oh, more colors. Louis Pagan Ponce. Hey, Louis, thank you. The one and only Fazio. I would pay... Louis. I saw Louis made a comment this morning. I told the little fella, that's another thing. First he wouldn't fight me because I'm old. Then he wouldn't fight me because I'm fat. Then he wouldn't fight me because he says I'm out of shape. Then I hit the bag 1,500 times without stopping. Then he forgets about fighting me altogether. He don't mention it. Last week when I demanded that he show up, and let's fight. Let's do this. Don't worry. Now he knows I have the money. I'm not fat anymore. Now he calls me an invalid. He doesn't fight invalids. Now he calls me an invalid. He says he doesn't fight invalids. That's what he said. He's calling me an invalid. I'm out there working in the... I work my... Dude, you never worked a day in your life. Not compared to what I do. And then he has the nerve to say, I worked harder than that guy ever worked. He worked harder than me. So he has a background of being a professional photographer, but doesn't have a single picture of him working or video. I'm not a professional photographer, and I have 11,000 videos on YouTube of work and things I've done and places I've been. I have 11 federal and state licenses. He has nothing. He used to power wash statues. He has no proof. I did this and I did that and I had to break my butt to get the house back in order because it was more than wear and tear. No, it was just wear and tear, what I could see. And I repair. I'm a carpenter. I'm a contractor. Remember, I repair when people do damage to the house. There was nothing damaged in there. Okay, you had to replace some rugs. I'll give you that. I'll give you the fact that you had to replace some rugs. 100%. I'll give you the fact that you had to paint the concrete twice to get rid of the smell. I'll give you that. But you only paid $200 a rug 3 years ago. That's what you said. That you paid $200 for each rug, for each room. So you lost $400, but you collected $18,000 a year rent for 3 years. So you collected $54,000 in rent, and you lost $400 in rugs. What are you crying about? What are you crying about? The top of the fans had dust on the top of the fans? What are you crying about? That they didn't clean the... No one cleans the top of the damn fans. That the stove had a... like from cooking, it had a smoke imprint on the glass. It's a stove, dude. It's the inside of a stove that happens. You cry about everything. No one did any excessive damage. You complained that you had to paint all the doors. Not a single picture of the doors off the hinges. Not a single picture of paint hitting the doors. You claim that you painted all the doors. The doorknobs were never... No pictures of the doorknobs taken off the doors and the doors laid down on horses, because that's how you paint a door. No, none of that happened. You're a liar. Louis Pagan. And then he said he could beat me in the ring. And I said, you know what? The hell with me being an old man. The hell with me hitting you closed fist. I will fight the little fella and not close my fists. I'll slap him into submission. In the ring. We get in the ring. Somehow we'll tape my hand so that it doesn't close fist, and I will smack him into submission. Forward and backhand. I guarantee I'm still going to win. I still put $10,000 on that. I don't know what he thinks he is. His arms are about... His arms... I don't know how much power his arms have. I don't care. They're never going to get to that point where I have to worry about it. He can't walk. When you watch him walk, he walks like one step in front of the other. There's something wrong with his knees, so he can't back up. He can't go forward. He can't go lateral. So he's got to face forward and run around the ring. And I got to catch him. Somehow I got to corner him. He's not going to fight me center ring. He's just not going to do that. And if he's not going to get me in a clutch, that's for damn sure. And if I put him up against the ropes, then I could smack him into submission. He don't want to do that either. Why? It's so tough. You run your mouth for 3 years that you're going to beat me up, cold cock me if I don't give you money. Oh, yeah. I showed that video. Anyway, you can't beat me, dude, in the ring, open fist or closed fist. You can't do it. Just get it through your head. You're just not a tough guy. I don't care about all your martial... We're going to get into a boxing ring. You're not going to be able to do the woo-woo-woo with the legs and all of that crap. You're not going to be able to go for the eyes. If you can, I can. And we're not going to do that. We're going to get into a boxing ring. We're going to fight with ring rules. 18-foot ring with 4-ounce gloves. This way, this thing doesn't have to last forever. I'll put you out of your misery early in the first round. Jesus Christ. And you're way over your head. You're way over your head, I'll tell you now, right now. You're way over your head. The fact that you can't back up, the fact that you walk the way you walk, and the fact that you smoke cigarettes, and the fact that you have those skinny little arms, you're in way over your head. Take the wager. Get in the ring with me. Stop telling people why you won't fight me because you're afraid you're going to hurt me, and do this thing. Do this thing that you've been promising. And now there'll be a different excuse. Oh, yeah. Look, this is the way this mental retard works. Instead of getting in the ring with me in Cebu, he goes, you come to Hawaii. You know what that means? Instantly, took me seconds. I go to Hawaii. I'm stalking him as soon as I get off the plane. I'm stalking him. I go to Hawaii and want to fight him. He's not going to fight me, so I just wasted $5,000 on airfare and hotels. And then I can't come back to the Philippines until it opens up. This is his psychological ploy to destroy what little, positive efforts that I put into my projects. He's going to take that away with one of his psychological ploys. You know where that would end up? Get you? You know where that would get you at the end of the day? Use your imagination. If I went to Hawaii and you backed out of getting in the ring with me, you'd still have to give me the money. We'd have to have an agreement that, the wager is I come to Hawaii, we wager $10,000, and winner takes all. And if you back out, I still get the money. You're not going to fight anybody. Barry, you're not fighting Barry. You're not going to fight Dave. You wouldn't fight Roberto. You wouldn't. Pinoy Troll would kick your ass in seconds. You think that you're not a tough guy, dude. You've never been a scrapper. You've never been in a fight. It's all theory to you. I got to go. Wait, I got to bang a pot. Bluish Pagan Pond says, I would pay $49 to see a fight between the little fella and Foz in an open hand smack fight. Dude, you cracked me up. I can see the dust fly off his torso with every smack. Be good, brother. Thank you, Louis. Do you know how hard? Do you know how, not how hard, do you know how much it hurts when somebody open hand smacks you? I've dropped people to their knees, crying, tears out of their eyes, in a game we used to play called Hands. Bigger people than me, much bigger. I've dropped them to their knees crying. They quit. They give up. It was a stupid game. It always was a stupid. In fact, if you got caught playing Hands in my school, you got suspended for a certain amount of days. Hands was a big thing. In aviation high school, it's all guys, so there was no women to interfere with our studies, but it was a stupid game. You put your hands in front of your body like that. And the other guy, one guy would put his hands behind his back. And then what he would do is your hands were in front of your body out about a foot from your chest. And what would happen is you could cross your thumbs or keep them open. The other guy would try to take his hand from behind his back and smack your hand. So basically you'd be smacking the outside of somebody's hand. So if my hands were behind my back and your hands were here, I would try to bring my hand around and smack your hand. Now, if I touched your fingers, and then you would in turn pull your hands back, left or right, or up and down. But if I touched your fingers, I got another turn to smack your hands. But if I missed, then I have to put my hands in front of my body and then you would get to smack me. My hands. I never lost, ever. Never lost a game of hands. Never did I lose a game of hands, ever, in 4 years. Never. Okay? Because, first of all, I take pain better than most people. And second of all, I was pretty quick. I won every time I played hands for forever and ever. I never lost a game of hands. Even my hands were this thick, swollen, blood leaching out of my hands, from the veins, and the hands were bleeding. Even my hands were bleeding from the smacks. You couldn't have rings or anything on. I still won because I just wouldn't give up till I won. And tears would come out of my eyes. Don't get me wrong, it hurt. I just don't give up. But the other guy always gave up. So, you know how much a smack hurts? Somebody smacks you across the head. It's not much different than a punch in a lot of ways. And I'll go into a ring with you and fight you smack fight you. I have no problem with that. This guy, he's so tough. Oh, my God. All right, Lewis, got to get a bang a pot. Bang a pot. Where is, got the utensil, the pot banging utensil. You know what? For Lewis Pagan Punch for a $20 super chat, let's go deaf. Ha! The idiot. He used to say, he puts a pot on his head. No, I put a pot next to my head. Louis Pagan Punch sounds like a spaghetti western producer. Louis Pagan Punch sounds like a spaghetti western director. Louis Pagan Punch sounds like he directed the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. Salamat, Merry Christmas is coming. I don't do this to make any sense. Don't try to make sense of this. Just understand I'm saying thank you. I am Chevy Chase. I am a Zen Buddhist master. I am a Hatha Yoga master. I am the master of the pot. I love Super Chat, baby. I love Super Chat. So, thank you all. Yeah, I remember sitting. That's another thing. The little fella. Dude, you have no idea what discipline is. Discipline is 18 hours a day. Meditation, fighting, 1 scoop of rice, and 3 pieces of lettuce. Then more meditation, 1 hour of zazen walking, then 1 hour of zazen kneeling, then an interview for 15 minutes by your guru or master. Then outside, that was the morning. Then outside for war games, sticks, baton, nunchucks. Never did like nunchucks, but nunchucks were real too. When you made a mistake, you cracked yourself wide open. And then no No pulling of the punches. Full on raw body attacks with no armor. No armor. So if you went to kick somebody and you kicked them, you broke their ribs, you'd hear their ribs crack. You have no understanding of discipline whatsoever. And then, if someone broke your ribs, which happens, or your nose, which happens, or splits your lip wide open, which happens, you sit out the class until that part of the class is over, and Sensei Bob will take you to the hospital. Sensei Bob was a police sergeant in Long Island. And Master, he didn't say much. You have no understanding of discipline at all. Someone cracks you and breaks your nose, blood all over everything. You take your belt, dip it in the blood. Everybody in the class would take their belt and dip your blood on their belt. And you would thank the guy for breaking your nose. And then you'd go to the hospital if you wanted to get it set. Broken ribs, same thing. You waited till the end of the class, and then you went to the hospital. That's discipline. You're a sissy, dude. You have no understanding of discipline whatsoever. You've never been in a real fight. You've never played full contact sports. You've never gotten your ass kicked by accident or on purpose. And that's okay. But don't come up with that tough guy stuff with me. You have no understanding of a high threshold of pain. None. I broke my leg backwards on jumping from the barge to a dock. I took a broomstick and a piece of wood, taped my leg straight, and worked for 6 more hours to put 2 more pilings in. Pulled the spuds, moved the barge across the canal, because I was working by myself, moved the barge across the canal, and got in my car and came home. And then the next day, I just I didn't work for a couple of weeks but my leg actually bent out backwards. Eventually, I had an operation to fix that, but that's not the point. I didn't cry. I did cry. Tears were coming out of my eyes, but I finished the job. My threshold of pain is so far above that of the normal man. The leg injury, the leg wounds, you have no idea how. If I gave you that pain, you'd commit suicide. Sometimes I would sit on the side of my house when I'm getting ready to take a bucket bath. I would take 4 ibuprofen. What you saw in my video the other day was nothing. I have video of my leg when it was full on blown out. 11 wounds, 11 giant open wounds right down to the flesh. I would take 4 ibuprofen and I would turn a bottle of rum upside down and drink half of it in 15 or 18 seconds. Because I don't like the taste of rum. And that would be what would allow me to put my leg in water to soak my leg for an hour. And I would just sit there like this. You lose track of reality. You move into the pain. That's how much pain there. Even a half a bottle of rum and 4 ibuprofen, and you lose your sense of reality where you are. And after about an hour of soaking the leg, you would okay, and then you'd rub the infection out of the wound, and then come in the house and dress it. But without that half a bottle of rum, there's no way you're going to get through this ordeal. 4 ibuprofens did nothing. Sometimes there was aspirins, ibuprofen, and a whole bottle of tequila to kill the pain enough to put my foot in the water. You would commit suicide if you had the pain I had in my leg. People would say to me, how can you work like that? I said, well, because I got stuff to do, And this creep on YouTube, there's a creep on YouTube that keeps saying, well, he doesn't go to any real doctors. I've been to 9 doctors and 3 hospitals. I've had one culture that turned up no infection that they could find. I have a cardiac panel that shows nothing wrong with my blood or platelet count or hemoglobin, nothing. They don't know what's wrong with my leg. I'm too cheap. Every time I hear that, I want to put you in the ring and knock you out in the ring, of course, knock you out. Every time I want to get in the ring with you, every time you lie about that, I never went to a good doctor. I went to 9 doctors. Do you not think I understood? I saw one good doctor? 3 hospitals, 9 different doctors in and out of the hospital, and not one of them were good. There were probably half of them were very good and half of them were good. But they couldn't find out what was wrong. The medicine they gave me didn't cure it. So I stopped taking medicine. I'm not going to take medicine anymore. I soak my leg for now 2 hours instead of 1 hour. And either my body will fight this infection or I will die. But I'm not going to take antibiotics anymore. The antibiotics and the creams I was putting on my leg was, in my opinion, what was stopping my leg from healing. It wasn't allowing my body to heal itself. So I made an executive decision 13 days ago to stop taking antibiotics and stop putting medicine on my leg. Gotten better every day since. So according to the doctor, I needed more medicine and a different cream. I have used $500 worth of creams. More. I have spent $10,000 on medicine and doctors and hospitals. And they didn't do anything. Well, they got rid of most of the wounds. But now, it's time for my body to do what the hell it was meant to do. And it'll do it. It's doing it. There's no more pain. I go to sleep at night. I don't have to take ibuprofen. I wake up today. I haven't taken ibuprofen since last night. That's 12 hours. I took some about midnight because I woke up and wanted to go back to sleep and there was a little pain. Don't tell me what your opinion is about my leg. Let me tell you my opinion about your rotten teeth. You say you don't have rotten teeth. I say you do. You want to see my teeth? I'll open up my mouth and show you my teeth. I want to see your teeth. I want you to put the camera in front of your teeth. And now remember what you said about your rotten teeth a year ago. You said your teeth smelled so bad that you don't brush your teeth with toothpaste. You use hydrogen peroxide. You use hydrogen peroxide to brush your teeth with. Hydrogen peroxide and baking soda is the only thing that kills the germs in your mouth. That tells me there is something wrong with your gums and your teeth. And I've seen your teeth. They're yellow, they're pitted, like someone that eats too much candy or drinks too much soda. Your teeth are rotten right down to the roots on one side of your mouth, and on the other side of your mouth you say you have caps or dentures, but I don't see it. I see it. I think you have like a $2 piece of rubber, fake rubber teeth. I've seen your mouth smiling with no teeth on the bottom at all. That is not a mouthful of teeth. I've seen your teeth on the left side with just rotten yellow, scaly looking teeth that are all, crooked and disheveled. I don't know how to put it. You have a mouthful of rotten teeth, which is more dangerous than the sores on my leg. And yet, you say there's nothing wrong with your teeth, but you don't smile. That's why you don't go on camera, so your teeth don't show. Go do this. Do that. Let's see your teeth. Close up. There's my teeth. Gum line. Those are real. I'm missing a few teeth, but let's see you do that. Good for the goose, good for the gander. You're the one who said you have a full mouth of teeth. I don't believe it. Stop talking about my leg and I won't have to look for things that are wrong with you, because that could go on forever. I could be here till Tuesday. Today's Saturday. Yeah, I could be here till Tuesday. Easy. A real, a real man forward slaps and backhand slaps his opponents into submission with a bunch of laughter. His martial arts. Now that was the funniest thing he has ever seen, says Canoy. I saw that, Flywoods. It looked like a Girl Scout dance. Oh, the little fella. He's off YouTube now. I actually was the first person to notice that last night. No, I didn't flag his channel because I don't do that. As Flywoods well knows, I don't have the ability to flag people's videos from my channel. I don't know why YouTube doesn't let me, but they don't, and I don't care. I'm never going to spend the time trying to do that again. Once Flywoods tried to help me, show me how to flag a video, it didn't work. No matter what we did, we couldn't get the options up on the screen. I just gave up. But yeah, I'm not gonna pull any punches here, so to speak. I was the first person. We were on Barry's show, and I checked my updates, and it had a video from the little fella, and I put the video on while I was on Barry's channel to let it load, just to put it on the tab, and that was, let's say, 10:30. And then I was listening to Barry's show, and Barry went away for a little while in the show last night, so I went back to put that video on to listen to a few minutes of it, and the channel had been terminated already. So it all happened from the time I put it on. A minute later, the channel was terminated, and I left a note on Barry's page, and that shit spread like wildfire. DQ made a video about it minutes later. Flywoods confirmed that his channel, both his channels, I think, and I heard his Facebook page got terminated also. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, is that karma? Is that karma that I had to sit down with the corporate headquarters at the prawn farm yesterday? Is that karma that for 45 minutes corporate and I had a conversation because someone called me up and lied about what I was doing on their prawn farm videos? Is that karma? Could be, yeah. Karma, that you were the one that asked somebody to reach out and pass the baton on to Richie and the slob, and you're the one who's always asking people to go to people's channels and flag them. And I think it was Mike Ross that said wait till I go to the prawn farm. I'm gonna be in for a big surprise. Even if I got thrown out of the prawn farm, how would that affect me? How would that affect me? I mean, do I need the prawn farm? I get 175 views on my prawn farm videos. Do I need that? I don't need the prawn farm. I could live stream from any store in the damn mall. I'm going to go to the next store also, and the one after that, and the one after that. Where's your life, Mike Ross? Oh, you have no life. That's right. You, Heminger, Ross Bundo, the little fella, and the slob and Richie, you have no life. What life does the slob have? Every day he picks up a different prostitute. That is not life, dude. Not life. Anyway, I want to check for rain. I think it stopped. Ain't that right? Flywoods a beach. I said, ain't that right? Yeah, but Barry's not afraid to show his teeth. Barry doesn't say he has good teeth. Barry had a laugh last night. It was a belly laugh, and it was a real belly laugh because his nails were long. And he said to Dimples, "This, you don't have to do this nail, it's already done." And somebody said, "Did you bite your nails, Barry?" And I lost my breath because that's funny because Barry has no teeth. But Barry started laughing so hard he couldn't uncontrollably laughing about it too. Barry's not embarrassed. He knows he has no teeth. But somebody said, "Did you bite your nails?" And you have to understand that he has no teeth to bite his nails with. So that was the funny part. And Barry was not embarrassed. I'm sure Barry wishes he did have teeth, but that's not the case. But he doesn't go around telling people he has perfect teeth, where the little fella can't admit his teeth are rotten to the core. Rotten to the core. See, that's a good analogy. Rotten to the core. Rotten to the root. All right, let me check the weather. I think it stopped. I see the sun. Indeed it did. Indeed it did. And everything's dry. I'm going outside, guys. I'll put another live stream up in about... Oh, yeah, and I'm the only person that live streams about doing any work in the Philippines. We have the little fella, "Oh, I did this and I did..." But never shows you anything. And you guys that are out there that listen to my live stream, the guy that said that I can't even buy a rebar bender. You heard the conversation I just had with that woman. And you got the nerve to say I'm not trying to buy a rebar bender? I'm trying. I paid for one 5 times. And the shipper, or the seller, each time failed to complete the order. What can I do? And when I said, you know what? You know what her answer was when I said, "What if I go to Manila to pick up the machine?" Do you know what she said? "I wish I had a speakerphone." Shopee doesn't sell speakerphones that I can find. Lazada doesn't, and they don't sell them in the mall. You could have heard both parts of the conversation. She said that would be crazy. And it would be crazy. But I wouldn't get robbed for 168,000 pesos. That's what she said. She doesn't want me in Manila buying that machine because they have no intention of giving me the machine if I send them the money at all. I'm going to just give them $3,000 plus. That's their game. Gotta go. I'm Pink Permy. Thanks for stopping by. You guys that keep saying I'm not trying to buy the equipment, you're a bunch of fools, dudes. You're a bunch of fools. Bye-bye for now. I'm Pink Permy, which means take care always. From the Philippines, baby. That's right. That's right.